Hello and welcome to another episode of the Everyday History Podcast. I'm Dustin Lloyd, and with me as always is Boo Boo, Kirby, Tristan.
Hey, Boo Boo.
Can you guess what today's topic is going to be?
Well, I know it's not hot dogs, baseball, or the fuck word.
No, it is not. Today, we're talking about our favorite fluffy bastards, cats.
Yes!
Or specifically, the domestication of cats.
Interesting. I love cats.
Yeah, no, not everybody loves cat. But
people who, yeah, I'm coming back with some hating. People who don't like cats, look, why? They're awesome.
I'm sure there's arguments to be made against cats, but I mean, mine just scratched me the other day and I wanted to throw her outside, but I didn't.
And that's important. It'd be so easy.
It would be. They're so small.
So cute.
So sharp. Today we're talking about the domestication of cats. So we're not just talking about how fluffy and adorable they are. Every cat owner knows, you don't actually own a cat, they own us, right?
That seems to be how it is, yeah.
Yeah, like dogs have owners, cats have staff, is what I've always heard.
Slaves, servants.
How long does this go back, right?
I'm gonna shoot in the dark and say Egypt, because I feel like I read that on the internet.
That's a great guess. Great guess. Scientists have researched for decades to figure out the riddle, when and where our furry friends were first domesticated.
Okay.
So going into this, I thought maybe there'd be some archaeological evidence that would pinpoint a segment in history where we could start to say, hey, this is where we started breed them for domestication. You know, kind of like how dogs were.
Uh-huh.
But evidently cats, both wild and domestic, have incredibly similar skeletons, which means things are a little bit more complicated than that. We can't really pin it down.
Wait, so, like, the domestication process, like, changes their skeletal structure? Or, like, domesticated dogs and cats have...
Cats, both wild cats and domestic cats, have similar skeletons to each other. Whereas with dog breeds, the skeletal genetics vary wildly due to the domestication breeding.
Okay.
Yeah, so, like, you'll see a bunch of different breeds of dogs, but cats, you know, hey, that's a cat.
Right. That's a tomcat right there. Look at them big old nuts.
So you've got a husky. Oh, I've got an asshole. It's a short-haired asshole. Most people would assume, and myself included in that before going into this research, that your guess, ancient Egypt, would have been the correct answer, right?
Yes, of course, I said it.
Yeah, because I don't know, I guess as far back as we can remember, I remember seeing cartoons about cats in Egypt and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, cats are always historically tied to Egypt. But in 2004, archaeologists working on the Mediterranean island of Cyprus in a Neolithic village called, as if archaeologist wasn't hard enough to pronounce. All right, I'm going to try my best on this word.
I have faith in you, buddy.
If anyone's paying attention, yes, I did like 5 takes of trying to say archaeologist to get that sentence out. This word is much more fucked up. This is a Neolithic village in Cyprus called Shilorocrambus.
Whoa.
And I'm probably butchering that so badly.
Shilorocrambus.
Okay, let's just say there's a little village in the island of Cyprus.
Uh-huh.
That's all we're going to say.
Yes.
There was a grave discovered of a human.
Okay.
And buried with this human was a cat. So it was estimated to be about 9,500 years old. The grave, not the cat.
It makes me wonder, like, hearing that, my first thing is, I wonder, did the dude request to be buried with his cat? Or did some sick fuck kill this guy and throw him in a grave and then shoot his cat and also throw him in the grave?
Or was it a murder-suicide and the cat killed him and then killed itself?
Was gonna kill him to eat him, but was like, oh, I can't live with myself. What have I done? I loved you.
It's a cat we're talking about. It was premeditated.
Yeah, they don't love.
Oh yeah, I guess they do. Anyway, so that's a good point. Like asking, you know, what was the circumstances of this? Well, let me backtrack just a second to make a point real quick. The grave site was 9,500 years old, estimation. That predates Egyptian depictions of cats by at least 4,000 years.
Oh, shit. Well, I said Egypt because keep in mind, I don't research. I don't look things up. Okay. You learn things in public school and it's like, I kind of halfway remember that, I think. Which I don't remember. We didn't learn about cats in Egypt specifically.
No.
But I said that time because it's like, I'm trying to think of when we really started getting a handle on like agriculture and stuff. And I imagine with agriculture brings in pests, like how like cornfields around where we live get a lot of rats and shit, you know?
Yeah, that's a great point.
Cats kind of like come to where those prey are and stuff. And you know, like cats are smart. I mean, you and I both know any people that say cats are dumb, that's an individual cat. And I guarantee you at night, he's a spy. He just wants you to think he's dumb.
Yeah, they like to play dumb.
Yeah. But so they know what they're doing.
Oh, those are all great points. Let me stroke your ego a little bit.
Please.
Your theory is not unfounded, and we'll get to that.
Okay.
Because what you're saying is pretty much what's going to tie in. It's just a matter of where and really how, I guess.
Yeah.
And how it evolves from there. So we'll get there. But yeah, you're on the right track. I like that.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm brilliant. I mean, audience.
Let's not go.
Oh, sorry.
No. Yeah, back to that grave. Great. So Melinda Zeter, she's a curator of Old World Archaeology and Archaeozoology.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Hey, I got it.
Nice. Good job. Hey, audience, he's brilliant. He's brilliant.
But she is those two things that I'm not going to try to say again at the National Museum of Natural History. Said it best when she said that the process and timing of the cat domestication has been terrifically difficult to document. But in the absence of a collar around its neck, the deliberate internment of an animal with a human being makes a strong case that cats had a very special place in the daily lives and in the afterlives of the residents of blah, 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 blah in this little island.
Okay.
So basically she's saying, you know, in layman's terms for us common folk, that because it was buried with a person intentionally, it means that it was a domesticated cat. And another point to that is that cats were not native to that island.
Right. So, cats just don't grow in the middle of the fucking sea.
Yeah. So, well,
hang on now.
Getting ahead of it. No, I'm joking. There's no cats growing in the sea. While the Cyprus gravesite is the oldest known evidence of feline domestication, ancient Egypt, and here's where your theory comes in, kind of.
All right.
Or this is, you know, where that strongly ingrained myth of cats originating in Egypt came from.
Okay.
The reason for that is because they have the most abundant evidence that we can examine. For example, cats are all over ancient Egypt mythology. The deities Mafdet, Basset, and Skemet are deities representing justice, fertility, and power, respectively. Were depicted with cat-like heads, humanoids with cat-like heads. You know, you've probably seen them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all have. And art depicting cats, as well as mummified remains, have been dated as far back as 4,000 years in that same area, right?
Wow, yeah.
So the reason that some of these things are so preserved in Egypt, which I came to find out, is because of its climate.
Its climate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because of the desert?
Because it's so dry, like, it just preserves things. It's, you know, that's why, you know, we have a lot of ancient artifacts from Egypt. It's because for thousands of years, that climate has kept it from deteriorating. So that's why there's so many surviving things of like cat deities and things like that.
Okay. So like as long as it's protected from the sands and shit like that, the like shit that's gonna weather it.
Yeah, the better chance it has of surviving.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, which I thought was a pretty cool thing, and that's why we have, and because we have all this abundant stuff, it's like cats, Egypt, cats.
Hey, I made cats.
But art depicting cats, as well as mummified remains, have gone back even further than that. They found evidence from Neolithic late Stone Age sites with engravings and potteries that depict cats. Like, not just in Egypt, obviously, but in like spread throughout the ancient world. But that's not necessarily evidence of domestication because, you know, they're just, it's a drawing of a cat on a piece of pottery.
Yeah.
They drew like deer and stuff too. That doesn't prove anything.
Random question. Did this island of out in the middle of
Chiloracampus?
Yeah, near Cyprus, right?
Yeah,
was
Cyprus.
this a time when we were like, did humans record history at that time? Do you happen to know? Like, cause I know Egypt, you've got fucking hieroglyphs and.
Yeah. From what I could find, there's no surviving documentation about cats or anything like that from those sites.
Okay.
If that answers your question.
Yeah.
I didn't see it because I did look up some more things to see if I could find anything else about that Cyprus island.
Mm-hmm.
And couldn't really find anything that would narrow it down any further than, hey, we found a cat in a grave. How morbid.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked it.
All right, you could say it again, sir. Folks, once again, I am brilliant. You can't see it, but that was the sound of me patting myself on the back.
Yeah, the pottery and other things that we found with the Stone Age sites, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not evidence of domestication, but it does hint that even that far back, they at the very least had a spiritual significance at that time. And if we fast forward to the Viking Age, Hinga Dinga.
Hello, my name is Gordon.
Around 800 to 1050 AD, not much had really changed. They still revered them as special companions and pets, even though they'd been domesticated for a long time at that point. But they still had an element of spirituality to them. Cat remains were found in many Norse graves, and it is thought that they were cherished by high status people all the way down to the lowest of the low.
Wow. So a cat doesn't matter what your socioeconomic status is. They don't judge you. They judge you based on what you're going to do for them, not how much.
Basically.
They're like, hey, can you feed me? Hey, you're a good guy.
They're not going to judge you, but
they do judge you. Make no mistake. Cats judge the fuck out of you, but not in the sense they're not judgy like, ew, poor. Like,
yeah.
Hey, so some num-nums.
And I'm sure there were some people that hated cats back then too. Let's be honest.
Well, they can be dicks.
But what's unique to me is the fact that they are given an element of spiritualness, religiousness, whatever you want to say, but there's this aura about them in different cultures, though. Like, it's not like just one culture. Like, it's not like the Egyptians were the only ones to worship cats.
Yeah.
Like for some reason, cats were always seen as a spiritual, mysterious animal.
Right.
And that's interesting. The fact that this happened over millennia and not just neighboring countries battling over who has the most beautiful cat statue. Like, this is centuries of cat ideology.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm sitting here thinking about it and to go back to the pottery thing, resources aren't just, these guys couldn't just go to the fucking Walmart and pick up a clay pot and a painting set, you know what I mean? Like, the resources, the time meant a lot, I feel, a lot more than it would maybe mean now doing that stuff, like going to a Walmart and stuff. So it's crazy how much of a pedestal, it seems like cats are put on, which I understand it. I love cats, man. I love cats. I really do. I've never met a cat I didn't like.
I've never worshipped one, but yeah.
Not of my own accord, no. But sideways end up worshiping them when you're beholden to their cries. And
I guess that's true.
Beautiful, cute eyes and toe beans and big old tail. And listen, this is going to sound really weird, but hear me out. There's something weirdly seductive about cats. Not I want to fuck that cat. No, I'm not saying that, but in the same way that I know you don't like snakes, but in the same way that a snake is associated with that beckoning, come here, don't you want to do what I say in exchange for, I don't know.
It's more of a refined manipulation.
God, I wish I'd have said that because I was like, all right, roll the dice and fucking say it. I don't listen. You and to the people listening, I don't want to fuck cats. They're very nice. I'm sure they're great people, but I'm just not attracted to them.
That's not what people are going to think when I'm done editing this.
God damn it.
That'd be fucked up. You cannot tell me that cat doesn't know it's being cute when it's begging for treats.
Exactly.
No, you're not just sitting and meowing at me like, meow, meow. No, you're rolling on your back and being all cute and putting your little paws up. No, right. You know exactly what you're doing.
You change the pitch in your tone and shit. They got a language of their own.
I was looking directly at my cat when I said all that because that's exactly what she does when she wants treats.
Oh yeah, today we have a special guest star. That is Dustin's kitty, Carmen.
Miss Carmen.
Miss Carmen. Meow. No, that was me.
That was him. But there is really a cat here in the room with me. All right. As you can see, it's kind of impossible to pinpoint, even with the evidence that we've got. Can't pinpoint an exact moment in time where we can say, there it is. That's when we started adopting the fuzzy little fucks. But why is it so hard to pinpoint a moment, or at least nail down like a closer gap of like, say, a few thousand years, right?
Right. Why?
Well, probably because cats were most likely commensal domesticates.
Could you say that in poor man's English, sir?
Yes, and I only gave that pause just so I could wait for you to be like, what the fuck's that?
Mission accomplished.
Because right next to that little note I wrote, commensal domesticates is just a fancy way of saying that members of one species, cat, found benefits in an interaction, while the other species, human, neither benefits nor are harmed. Go ahead and laugh. I can hear you. You're laughing at my air quotes.
Yeah, I can definitely hear the air quotes.
So basically what this means is that when human settlements begin to pop up in a cat's neighborhood, a cat's habitat, I guess it was their neighborhood. They'd pop up, they'd start farming, rodents were attracted, cats killed the rodents, and in turn humans didn't have to run, the cats off because, hey, you're getting rid of the mice for us, why don't you stick around?
I guess you're right.
Hey, why don't you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, what do you say?
Right. Oh, scratch my belly. Psych!
And what we as humans discovered was, okay, they're cute. They make interesting noises. Haven't heard those before.
They pee in the same spot.
But what are they good for? Oh, I just killed a mouse. Okay, you know what? They can stay. Right. So that's basically like what I could find is, what it gets down to. Yeah, basically it comes back to what you were saying earlier about them basically domesticating along with the agricultural developments of the ancients.
Okay.
So you were spot on that.
Nice.
No prize for you.
Damn it. That's all right.
So if I didn't say this earlier, I want to reiterate that even as far back as that cat that they discovered in the grave in Cyprus and graves they found in Egypt are remarkably similar to modern cats. Like there's very little evolution, so to speak.
So the cat has kind of been like the perfect specimen for thousands of years. Like, perfect specimen is in its own evolutionary.
Yeah, where it's kind of
jumbo.
At least in the same time frame that we humans have been around, I don't think there's been much deviation in our genetic skeletal makeup. With cats, it's been pretty much the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
In contrast to other domesticated animals, like dogs who have been bred for specific traits to do specific jobs.
There ain't no Shih Tzu wolves running around out in the wild.
Right. Like dogs have been bred to hunt, to guard, and even to help herd other animals since ancient times, like way back. And modern cats were like, eat mouse.
Right, yeah, sounds good. We're living high on the hog.
Yeah, and in fact, modern cat breeds didn't even really become a thing until about 150 years ago.
Like all the different colors and
yeah,
and shit.
Like really there's no difference in functionality between different cat breeds. It's all just hair length, colors, patterns. I mean, some eye colors are different. Some cats just have blue, but I think that's more of, aren't most blue-eyed cats adults deaf?
I think I've heard that, yeah. Like those, not Persian cats. I might be butchering that, folks. I'm not sure.
Yeah, don't quote us on that. I know that some blue-eyed cats have a deaf trait, but it might not be all of them. And I'm sure it's not all of them.
Right. I'm not well versed in cat flavors. I just see cats. I see cats and I start touching them. I can't stop myself.
Oh no.
Oh no. Come on, leave it.
I might leave it.
But seriously though, I do love cats. That doesn't mean that I have to be a fucking, a cat, know-it-all. Cause that's just douchey.
Oh, we're on a tangent again. So anyway, going back to 1871, only 5 cat flavors were recognized by the association in London. What association, you may be asking? I'm sure you're asking what association.
You know?
I don't know. Don't dwell on it. They're all dead now. Let's fast forward to the time of the living, today. And you'll find the aptly named Cat Fanciers Association, which recognizes 41 flavors or breeds of cat. Oh, fuck yes, that's a lot of pussy. However,
oh my God.
the International Cat Association recognizes 57 brands of cats.
Whoa. So there's not even a general consensus about what?
No,
Some people are like, you're just splitting hairs now, dude. Come on, it's obvious.
Well,
tabby cat.
They kind of like, I don't know what their definitions of cats was, because once I saw that, I'm like, that's ridiculous. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. But most cats are defined by visible traits such as fur patterns, ear shapes, and those things are usually controlled by a single gene. These traits are rare in domestic cats because humans have bred cats selectively for specific traits in a relatively short time, which created several new breeds in that time frame. Do you understand that? Because I sure as fuck don't.
So, yeah.
Basically, to get, though they breed cats to get a certain pattern of colors, ear shapes, like they breed cats with similar features. Mm-hmm. But because it was done so quickly, that's why there's like that many different breeds in such a short amount of time, is because they're selectively breeding cats, like some sort of feline eugenics.
Damn.
Okay, that got dark. That's not really what I mean, but they're breeding them for specific. Oh, this cat's cute. No.
Let's just call it a spade here. Humans are playing God.
Yeah, that's basically it. But because a cat's lineage can't be traced like, a breed of dog can be, because they did all this funky breeding to get certain cat combinations, cat breed organizations use the word pedigreed instead of purebred. So there is no such thing as a purebred cat.
Doesn't exist.
Does not exist, by definition. So we've gone over how we don't know their history, right?
Once again, this is proving to be it is hard.
It's a tough subject.
Nothing could be traced.
How about this? Instead of looking at what we don't know, let's look at what we do know. How they spread through the world.
Okay. How did they?
Well, let's go to Eva Maria Geigel, an evolutionary geneticist from God help me.
Oh, boy.
All right, this is French, so okay?
Okay.
The Institut is Jacques Monteau in Paris. Pennery! She presented the results of the first comprehensive research into the spread of cats through the ages at a conference in Oxford.
Now, that's a name I could say.
Oxford. Strong.
Oxford. Like ox.
Like ox. Yes. So I couldn't find exactly when this happened, but it was roughly around 2017. So Geigel and her colleagues took samples of the DNA of 209 domestic cat remains found at 30 archaeological sites throughout Europe, Africa, and the Middle East.
Okay.
These samples spanned across history. It wasn't just from one era. It was like all different times, like from the infancy of agriculture up into the 18th century.
Oh, good. It's not like we're just taking a bunch of cat corpses from the cat genocide of fucking 1822. Jesus, man. Well, we got to study these.
Well, what they discovered is that felines' migration spread into explosive waves. Okay. So it wasn't like a slow trickling out, and they began to see them they could age the skeletons, the DNA, and all that. The first began when agriculture first appeared in the Eastern Mediterranean and Turkey, which correlates with Cyprus. That was a Mediterranean, island.
Yeah.
Geigel,
of course I do that.
Yeah. Everybody does. Geigel suggests that when people began storing grains, they likely attracted rodents. Rodents, in turn, attracted wild cats. Early farmers may have seen the benefit, encouraging them to stick around, which we've already talked about, but that led to domestic breeds. So we saw this earlier, and I just wanted to cite it so that we have the context of this. I know it's redundant, but so are cats. All they ever do is say meow. So the second wave of world domination, feline style, happened several thousand years later. Geigel's team found that cats with DNA lineage from Egypt began to appear in Bulgaria, Turkey, and sub-Saharan Africa between the 4th century BC and 4th century AD. The researchers believe that this broader expansion happened when sailors began keeping cats on ships during this time frame to help with the extermination issues. Rodents. Now, there's a lot more to their research, but I don't want to bore everyone by trying to think I could explain something I don't know anything about. So I'm just going to end it with this. While they couldn't pinpoint the exact time of domestication, one of the side notes they did discover was that the mutation for the tabby cat didn't occur until the Middle Ages. This project is still ongoing, so hopefully we'll have even more answers in the coming years, but that's what they found so far.
Wow. That's crazy because you see so many tabby cats.
Yeah, tabby's like one of the most common cat patterns.
Yeah.
Patterns?
That I've seen. Patterns. Yeah.
So now that we covered everything we don't know everything about the history of, let's cover something we do know for sure. Since we now know, throughout history, cats were revered and worshipped as deities at best. And at worst, a valuable tool to chase away harmful rodents. So surely we fed them well, right? Like, they're doing their job around here. This cat's a god, so we've got to take care of it. Well, commercial cat food didn't appear until the second half of the 19th century.
What?
And the reason for that was as industrial work became more abundant, not everyone was growing and storing their own food. And those cats that people owned didn't have enough rodents going around to keep them well fed. But cat food was still widely unpopular because of the general opinion that feeding a cat would spoil them and they wouldn't hunt the rodents that were there.
Oh boy, were they right.
So while prepared cat food was created in the 1930s, dry cat foods became a thing because of World War II rationing. And the actual pet food boom itself didn't begin until the 1960s. So for all this time that we've kept cats and dogs as pets and companions, we've only been making food for them specifically designed for them for less than 100 years.
Oh shit.
So that's pretty bizarre to me.
That is pretty bizarre because, they need to be fed.
So let's go over a few absolute feline facts. All right, so these have nothing to do with domestication. It's just fun little facts that I read while looking into this, and this will be the end of our episode, and then we can move on, or we can go do whatever.
Okay.
See if any of these surprise you. Ready?
Ready.
Number 1, cats can make over 90 different sounds.
Huh?
They have a range of vocalizations, some that sound nothing at all like a meow. Like chirping. I'm sure you've probably heard cats do, like that little chittering noise when they see a bug or a bird outside.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But here's something else you may not have known. Kittens typically meow only to their mother for milk. And most adult cats only meow when humans are around, and they don't use meows in an adult interaction between cats. So the typical meow that you hear a cat say, they don't use that to address another cat. They'll make other variations, but not the same ones they use with us.
So meowing isn't like a cross-the-board way to communicate. It's just like for us.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
On to number 2. Dus. One of the biggest cat stereotypes is a lie. Cow milk is not good for cats. Not even kittens. There's just not enough proper nutrients for a growing cat.
Oh.
And it can, in fact, make them sick.
Oh, shit.
Number 3 is going to be kind of shitty.
Oh, I'm sure it's a meowsing. Oh, cut that, please. Please cut that.
No,
damn it.
The first commercial cat litter was invented in 1947.
What?
As if we didn't just do another take or two of that.
Damn it.
Until then, cat litter was just bags of sand sold by pet stores. That is until Edward, the pussy shit king Lowe, introduced the clay-based litter. That wasn't his nickname, by the way.
Nah, it probably was.
It could have been. But he had trouble convincing his local pet store to carry his invention. So he took a gamble, gave the litter away for free until people were convinced it was worth buying, and he would continue working on selling his shitty litter across the country until he eventually, in 1954, created the company Tidy Cat, which we've all heard of.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Cats, except for mine, spend 2/3 of their lifetime sleeping. Humans spend about 1/3 of their life sleeping. I spend about 1/10 of my life sleeping because I'm an insomniac.
God, I spend like 9/10 of my life sleeping.
Kittens actually need lots more sleep because a certain type of growth hormone that they need is only produced while they're sleeping, like during their sleep cycle.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
And number 5, and our final feline fact. Wow, I can't believe I nailed that one. All cats have 24 whiskers.
I thought you were going to say go to heaven.
No, that'd be cool though. I should say almost all cats because I know someone's going to go, count their cat's whiskers. Be like, hey, mine only has 23 because one fell out, dipshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Tom, in Minnesota.
Yeah, fuck you, Tom.
So, yeah, they have 24 whiskers, 12 on each side of their face. Which I did not know. That was news to me.
That is oddly symmetrical.
Yeah, that's what shocked me about it.
I wish my facial hair grew in like that. Like even, nice, orderly, symmetrical.
And I'm just staying silent here so we can leave a awkward silence on your end while you just keep talking as the music fades out.
No!